welcome to the Human Design Rave Festival 2025.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Human Design Rave Festival 2025. And today, myself and Veronica are hosting Darshana, one of the senior teachers in International Human Design School. And Darshana, we were really looking forward finally meeting with you and asking all the questions. And first of all, how are you doing? How is
Um, I've just finished a semester of teaching, so I'm feeling a little more relaxed. My schedule's opened up a bit. Although in January, right around Rave New Year, actually, I'm going to gain two new granddaughters. Little baby twins going to be born.
Wow,
So,
that's
so
big.
like my whole life right now is babies and sharing of knowledge that will support us being in balance, because it becomes very real when you have a child coming into the world. The importance, like Ross said, this knowledge was for the children primarily, even though I'm so glad it came to the adults too. But that, you look and you think, oh, we really want to make sure that they can love themselves, and that they don't get torn to pieces by homogenization and yeah, the shadow world.
Hmm.
So I'm really well.
Great. And actually, this is such a nice opening for what we were discussing before we started recording about bringing things into form, the quarter of civilization where your personality sun resides. And what better example for that than the birth of a child? And in
Yeah,
this
there you
case,
go.
even two.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have gate 52 for my personality sun, which I love so much. It's mountain over mountain. Isn't that
Mhm.
cool? I mean, it's just the sound of that. And I can just feel my body go, mountain over mountain. And then down below on my ground is and they're the same identical hexagrams, it's mountain over mountain. And then I have lake over lake, which is gate 58 is my ground. And it's the joyous love of life. And so resting in the joyous love of life, in the patterns that support us moving to the future where we thrive. This is my orientation. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we're so glad we invited you to actually share this joy of love, of life,
Mhm.
and bringing it to form in our 4-day festival, which this year, guys, we split into 4 quarters. So, and the theme, closer to mutation, kind of inspires teachers to show you their perspective and their experience so far with the system, which is amazing and one of the best gems in this festival to kind of see share how each of us looks through those different eyes of ours, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I should tell you guys that when they shared with me just before we started the recording, and they mentioned the 4 quarters, then, I'm splenic. I have only the spleen and root defined. So everything is open and intangible until it arrives, right? And when they said that, all of a sudden I had this inspiration of, oh, right. And I've got gate 52 and that's in form. My purpose is fulfilled through form, and my ground is my purpose is fulfilled through transformation and mutation, the whole bringing form into altered form and evolving. And as they said that, and then I broke the quarters in my head down into the first half of the quarter and the second, and I'm in the second half of the quarter, which is actually the expression outward of it, of the building into the form and then bringing it out in the second half of that. And also the Godhead, my Godhead being Pavarti, the goddess of the home and the family and all this. And my design has two channels, which is the channel of my moon is in gate 54, line 4, enlightenment and darkenment, and it fuels that channel of transformation. Boom. And then my other channel is 1858, and that's where my earth is with the 58. And that's being in, the judgment of the patterns that support us moving to the future, through to return to the joyous love of life. And that's always been it's funny to look back and see your life, and like maybe we can talk about this when we do the session together, that you sit there and go in contemplation, or a bit of musing and inquiry into how your life has actually supported you in fulfilling your purpose inadvertently. I mean, it's almost like I realized that if I had been I worked for a while in a dress store. I would dress the windows, and I eventually became the buyer of the junior department. And then at one point I thought, I can't spend the rest of my life selling clothing to people, and so I had to move on to something else. But if what I had found was my purpose there, I could have been had been in service of individualism. That's my Chiron, in cross of individualism. I could have been in service of that anywhere, right? And that's what's so cool about human design. Well, it's not human design, it's us, that human design gives us the language for, and understanding of, is that we are living it as we breathe. And when we look back, we can see all the events that have been there to support us to fulfill the purpose that we came here to fulfill in the unique construct that we're living in. And so that's kind of fun. Maybe we could look at that when we're together.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And knowing that really big part and philosophy of the festival is bringing the truth out, the truth as it is. So when so many teachers are preparing their presentations and lectures and workshops, yes, some who are spontaneous, like yourself, Darshana, all you gotta do is just have an intention and then just show up. And literally through Q&A, we can bring things out that are absolutely relevant and true for yourself and for others, yeah, in the moment of the festival. And that's what we're collectively also moving to in the Sleeping Phoenix, is the times of the now, when most of the gates will be individual gates and life will be all about now. What it really is, we can only guess. But when the texture, the frequency will reveal itself, yeah, that's what it will be, the nowness.
Yeah.
But I actually want to take you to the past for a second, from the now to the past. And you've already been participating in our festival before, including the meeting in Sofia in Bulgaria in the beginning of the year. So can you please share, how was the festival for you, yeah, as a facilitator, but also as a participant, because you also participated in some other workshops and lectures, so people who are watching this, yeah, can get a little bit of the taste of the perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I was really happy to come, and of course, I was in my true splenic fashion. I bought the ticket the day before because I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it or not. My health was a bit challenged then, so then I was like, okay, I'm going, and off I went, and and because I had been having a lung thing, I didn't do as many things as I might have done if I was a bit stronger, but the way they set this thing up, I mean, this is amazing what Julia and Veronica put together with their team. And it speaks to, well, I'm up there in the age where I'm like a very last minute baby boomer or hippie. I'm a baby boomer, but I'm last minute hippie. I didn't quite hit the real hippie time, but close enough that I feel kind of like I qualify. And I was in San Francisco. I mean, I grew up in California. And so I really got to experience the color of the unfoldment of the celebration, the Leonian celebration of individual being. And this is what I experienced at your festival, was this, so many people coming with their music and their art and their dance and their words, and and just their beings dancing about in the room, not dancing, but their beings dancing. And yeah, of all ages too. There was young people and there were elders like me, and very gifted people. Gifted, well, I guess we all are, aren't we? In whatever it is we do. It was very beautiful. And so I really recommend the no, I don't know if I recommend anything, but I can say, because I don't know, what does that mean? But I can say my experience was really wonderful, and I invite all of you to join us, because I anticipate it being pretty wonderful again. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Darshana, for your kind words. And I'm glad you had that kind of experience in the festival. And let's see what this year brings.
Yeah, no, I have to say, for example, some of the talks, I don't know about mine, hope it was good, but some of the other teachers, and also some of my previous students who are now unfolded into their own beauty of sharing this knowledge. What a gift it was for me, like Pavaka, when she gave the talk on manifestors. And I remember Nisarg, who's a reflector, old-time gangster from the past of human design. She sat there going with her mouth open. She's so cute. Just, like, wow, I've never heard it said that way before. The outer authority that can be shared through each individual will open doors for you that another person might not open it in the same way, because of frequency, because of outer authority, because of our fractals. So, yeah, if you love human design and if you love community, this is a wonderful place to find that.
Yeah.
I cannot add more. Just to thank you for recognizing and acknowledging the space that's created through all of us, because it is a co-creation. And nobody's the boss here. It's really something that is being formed. Yeah, this human design space where people can take and give and share, and that is our intention. So thank you so much, Darshana, for being part of it, and see you very soon.
Yeah, well, I just want to say two things more.
Sure, go for it.
Even though, you get an open throat going. One was a phrase that I heard recently and I really liked, and it was called coherent community. And I thought, because coherent means like awakened in understanding community. And that's the possibility for us when we gather, and also the times that are coming. And that's the last thing I wanted to address, because you were saying the focus is with the mutation, the times that are coming with this shift. Right now, we're experiencing it already because it's, a big shift, 400-year cycle ending in 2 years. So we already feel many of the things. But when the frequency actually shifts, we will be supported frequency-wise, homogenized-wise, to be experiencing our own uniqueness, our own awakenedness, our own coherence. And there's all those individual gates in the penetration cross and the Phoenix cross, but there's also 2 tribal gates. And so we're going to be, with my 54 is going to be there, but in the 6th line. And gate 59, intimacy, the energy for this mating to bring creativity. And so a lot of times I hear people say, well, what about, we'll go into this time where everyone's only looking after themselves. And I said, but the truth of who you are, I'm tribal. I have a tribal channel, and it's my driving force, right? That's my moon that drives and fuels that channel. The truth of who you are will be present then. If you're tribal, you'll bring your tribality into the next time. And so that's what I think is an interesting thing for us to spend some time with, is realizing that the fear that can come up of a shift that sounds like it's like, cutthroat, killer monkey stuff, is not there when we're present, when we're in our coherence and in community. So now I'll let you say goodbye.
So that's indeed the idea of the festival, to be a bridge between the first impacted by RA students and our teachers, actually. So thank you for bringing yourself and sharing your perspective on the new times coming also. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to be with you. You guys are so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you soon
Darshana. Yay.
at your lecture.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Human Design Rave Festival 2025. Get your ticket now.